All right, Mike. So back to discuss Disney's Sorcerer's Arena. So what are we looking at today?
So I think today we're going to kind of look through the essential characters at the beginning of the game and end game characters that you want to start working on as soon as you can.
Okay. That makes sense. And I'm actually really excited because in terms of later game, look at this. I am so close to unlocking this guy. 2 stars. I'll have him unlocked in 4 hours once I get my payout for the arena. So
he makes such a difference, just A, because he does massive damage, but B, because his leadership skill is right now the best leadership out there in terms of mixing and matching characters.
Yeah, I'm really going to have to really dive into his kit deep and try to really get the mechanics and understand them, because when I face a Shan Yu team, it seems like there's much more than an 8% speed difference.
Well, here's the thing, that take out your characters like Mickey, for example, that even at low levels is 103 speed. Most characters, the difference between their speed is so minimal. You're only talking about 1 or 2 difference. So if you add 8% speed, you've now jumped your almost entire team to the front. And especially with these Kingdom speed teams that exist, that you can use Aladdin, you can use Mickey, you can use Jasmine in. They fly by now. So you, depending on how those teams are set up, you could have upwards to 4 characters going before your opponent goes. And as long as you powered up Aladdin and Shan Yu, for example, you're taking out 1 guy off the board, guaranteed. And you're starting to do some serious damage on the second one, or you're setting up a conservative build with Raja getting out there if you're using Jasmine, or if you've got a faster taunter, getting your taunt up before they even go. Either way, you're protecting your Aladdins, your Shan Yus, your big bad wolves of the world that are your massive damage dealers at your early levels. Right. And then it becomes even more important as you start facing teams that are 5 stars or more that really have some serious power.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess that's the other thing too, is just getting that first turn advantage. Maybe it just seems like more because if the other team, let's say they hit me with, well, okay, take Magic Carpet. If they hit like your front line, 3 characters with slow, now that speed difference is pretty large for the second turn. And if they start stunning people, it feels like an eternity. Like when I'm in the PvP battles, it's a real toss-up. I almost regret hitting level 30, to be honest with you, because it seems like as soon as I did, it's like, oh, you're level 30? Well, clearly you can fight level 40.
Yes, exactly. It's
and lately I'm getting smashed with these this Dumbo spell, which just blinds your whole team.
Yep.
And then they will hit me with either explosive spell or something else. Or
I'm not as concerned about explosives. My big things that I get concerned about is Dumbo and Bucket of Soldiers, and then when they combine Bucket of Soldiers and I don't know his official name, the Archer guy.
Yeah, Trigger Tower. Yeah, that is
yes. Because that adds a 6th character on there that's going to trigger the Bucket of Soldiers. So
yeah, it's insane.
I'll be honest, that's what I run for the most part. I've got most of these spells unlocked. I haven't really used Dumbo that much. Right. I'm now partial to trying it a little bit more. It seems like Dumbo has a big jump, though, when you get to level 2, so that's when the blind duration really expands.
Right.
Level 1, I wouldn't call it a game changer, because blind for 1 turn is nice, but it's not huge. Well, blind for 2 turns is a big difference.
Yeah, you make a good point, because you could even extend that to explosives, because, yes, it does big damage. And I've seen people run I was fighting one person earlier today who had 3 tanks on their team. Like, wow, they're not doing a lot of damage, but then they use explosives. The thing with explosives is, if you don't kill off, once you have the dynamite on you and you're like, let's say half health, if you don't kill off that team quick, you might just explode and die. So I've seen this guy, he was running tanks, essentially, who are really beefy health characters with good defense, so that he was just playing a waiting game, which was a really interesting strategy. But to your point, as far as getting to the next level, you can't look at when you're fighting someone PvP, you can't look at a spell somebody's doing and say, oh, I need that spell. It makes a big difference. So like explosives here, yeah, it does damage, but that second level is really the game changer that I've seen, at least against me, because inflicting stun on everybody, it's a huge slowdown.
Am I the only one who, every time that happens, I think that Stone Cold Steve Austin needs to be introduced to this game?
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah, he goes around. They have him coming in and just hitting everybody with the Stone Cold Stunner.
He could be the RKO meme of Disney.
That's pretty funny. All right, so Shan Yu is a clear, great character to ramp up with. I think your character focus is interesting depending on where you're focusing on the game. Because when I'm looking at Arena and PvP, Shan Yu is like a clear, good choice. I'm actually in a weird spot now where I'm in Sorcerer's tournament, and there's a certain point where I need X amount of Oceanic characters. And besides Ariel, like I was not farming Jack Sparrow until I realized, oh, wait, I need Oceanic characters.
Oh, no.
Jack Captain
Jack
Hook
Sparrow's
is just not worth investing in at all.
Jack Sparrow's charm alone is a huge strategy. Now, he does good damage, and he's got an AoE.
Right.
But you add in that charm can be a difference maker. You time that right, or you throw that, let's say you're going against a slightly slower Shan Yu. You pop it on Shan Yu, he's now not doing his headbutt move first turn, and you're not getting dealt with massive damage. And on top of it, he does a good amount of damage. Now, you can also flip that with Hades, for example. That works well with Buzz Lightyear to avoid the first turn stun. There's a lot of different things that early charm makes a huge difference on.
I see. Yeah, because as you know, I only started the game, I don't know, a week ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks, I don't know, somewhere in there. So a lot of my knowledge is from early game. I think, considering I'm free to play, I think I'm accelerating pretty quick. You know, for being like 10 days into this game, let's say, I'm at level, I think 30.
Your amount of days for this game has now fluctuated into the matter of like 5 sentences, from 5 days to 14 days. So, like, is that a pandemic 5 days where just every day blends together? Or is this like you've really been playing it quietly and just didn't tell anybody since the release?
No. It has not been 2 full weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, pandemic days do bleed together for sure. I had to notarize, I don't know if I told you this, I had to notarize something for a client, and you know, he hands me the paper through like our compartment window, because we're not servicing clients face to face, we're doing it through a device, right? That's passing paperwork back and forth. And he's about to sign the thing and date it, and he says to me, what date is it? And I look at him, I'm like, what month is it?
You mean it's not still April?
It's like April, May, like, I don't know. It's spring. Can you date it for spring?
You know what I find funny is that everybody talks about being concerned about touching paperwork and things like that. Essentially, this has brought back the need for the fax machine. That's what it's boiled down to.
Wow. You know what? It's true. It's odd how some. Yeah. It's funny how old technology. You start looking at it a little different now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to jump back to what we were saying before, you're kind of on the cusp right now of beginning game and mid game characters. So I think maybe we should back up a little bit to beginning game characters, because we kind of talked a little about mid game, and we can delve a little more in mid game. But I think beginning of the game is something pretty simple but needs to be said. Aladdin is an essential. He's got high end upside, and he's got good beginning damage. He's got AoE. He's got a massive damage special. He's got a standard attack that's pretty solid. He pairs well with Jasmine, another beginning game character. They have synergies there that can, while percentage based, can increase bolts damage. And then you also have guys like Sorcerer Mickey, another huge damage. He's kind of early on, a little bit of somebody you have to defend for, like a glass cannon, because he comes with very little defense but a lot of power.
Right.
And then I would also say the two that kind of fence it of should I invest, shouldn't I invest, is Ariel and Buzz Lightyear. Because both have cool abilities, but as you get farther on, they become less and less powerful. Although Ariel kind of drops off first.
I see.
But
because stun is such a great mechanic that, you know.
Yeah. Buzz, on the other hand, has his stun, has that multi-hit karate chop thing that he does that is really good. But once you get past the mid-level, he drops off significantly also. So I think everybody needs him to unlock the other Toy Story stuff to a certain degree. But to that point, everybody needs Ariel for a little bit for those oceanic tower stuff, because unless you're running an overpowered team, she can be a second lead or she can be the second oceanic character. Because let's be honest, early on in the game, number one is clearly Jack Sparrow. Ariel is the number two. And then after that, who do you normally have available that's oceanic?
That's a really good question.
Captain Hook is probably the next best character.
Yeah, from my brief playing with him, I'm like really not impressed with Captain Hook.
Yeah. He has an ability a little later on that gets unlocked that makes it decent. But yeah, okay, so look at this. Tinkerbell is terrible.
I didn't see like her doing any damage. I mean,
she's a support. She's a support character without the interesting support stuff. Like, okay, she's got some nice stuff, but nothing that's really a difference maker.
Right.
Yeah, look at this right now.
Heal block. I mean, heal block is kind of cool.
Yeah, but Matt, how many healers do you use on a regular basis?
Well, this is the problem, is that honestly, and look, credit to a lot of other YouTube videos other people have produced, because I only have access really to one healer at the moment. I guess Ariel,
Jasmine to a certain degree too.
But Jasmine heals on what, like a 15% chance?
Yeah.
Per turn. So that means what? She heals every 7 times she goes. So in a battle, you're getting maybe 2 to 3.
Exactly. It's not a difference maker.
But it's also heal over time, so it doesn't heal the character right away. Because she tosses her thing over, and then she gets attacked right.
Am I the only one that thought that sounded kind of wrong?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. If you toss continuous healing onto a character, they're not getting healed right away. So if that character gets attacked immediately, theoretically it's healing, but it's not
exactly
happening right away. I mean, there's an argument where continuous healing can be really good on a character. Like if you're in the beginning of battle and your characters all get hit only for like 10% of their life total, continuous healing might be better than actual healing if normal healing would have put them over the 100% total HP. And this way, as they're taking damage, they're getting the healing over time, which might be more, but I don't know.
Let's put this in context, though. Let's compare it to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. You had some healers there who did some massive amount of healing. While here, your best case scenario is about 20% of your total health. And that's usually on lower level characters.
True. That said, though, it is a different context because, I mean, it may not be a perfect apples-to-apples comparison because in Galaxy of Heroes you have both a health total and like a shield bar.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That's where the game is going to go.
Even factoring that in, yeah.
It's only a matter of time before protection becomes a thing.
Protection,
and before we have some form of mods, like whether we want to call it mods or, armor or whatever it is, or like Disney Super Pixie Dust, whatever it is.
Mickey's Magic.
Exactly. So there's gonna be something that has to add on, whether it be a gear level 8, a gear level 10, like whatever we want to call it. Game's eventually gonna get there.
Yeah, but credit to what I've seen other people do videos on before, because I don't have access to them. Dr. Facilier seems to have a really great healing ability because it's purely passive. It's something like every time you or one of your opponent's characters dies, he just heals your whole party.
Yes.
Dark Redemption.
He's a difference maker.
Yeah. But I mean, at my level of play, where I don't have access to him yet because I can't get up to his node yet.
So I gotta ask, what movie is he from? I've never heard of this guy.
I think he's from Princess and the Frog.
Really? Okay.
I believe so, because there's kind of there's like a Louisiana kind of.
He's got that New Orleans voodoo type, but with a little more.
I only remember
flash and panache.
I happen to have caught the first half of that movie while babysitting somebody's kid, like when the movie came out. So yeah, and this is what it was. Friends on the Other Side. I feel like there might have been a song in that movie when he's talking about that. So my memory is he was by far the coolest part of that whole movie.
Okay.
But, at my level of play, the best healer is actually Aladdin because he just heals himself.
Yes.
And it seems to happen pretty frequently, actually.
No, the Thief's Cure, it seems to be even though it's entirely odds-based, it's always a key time that he does that. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of like flipping the bird in the middle of the match.
Back to Stone Cold.
Exactly.
But here, let me ask you this. Who is a character that may be painful to farm in the beginning because it's a hard farm when you're starting the game and you don't have the resources, but say a month or two out, you'll be thrilled that you went through that anguish in the beginning.
To me,
have this great character.
To me, it screams Hades.
Yeah.
Hades is a guy who's not the first one you want to start using your currency for, but he's such a massive damage dealer. He's got such great offensive utility that he'll fit in with any team, and he's going to be something that's just hard to deal with. And especially even if you get him damaged down, that unbridled rage.
Yeah,
that's a really cool change for how you're going through things.
It's funny you say that because I was dealing with a few Hades teams in PvP in the last few days, and when I see Hades on the team, I'm like, he's a huge damage dealer. I'm going right after him hard to try to get rid of him. But I almost wonder if that strategy is backwards, because maybe I should save him for last. Because even though he's a big damage dealer and is adding continuous damage onto people, if you just trigger his passive ability, Unbridled Rage, right away in the beginning of battle, and now he has it all the rest of the battle, and now maybe their tanks are throwing up their taunts, and you can't target him anymore. That's when you start to get stunned, and he's just starting to ramp up. Like, unless you can take him out right away, I almost feel like we don't mess with Hades.
Yeah, that's my thing. I normally take him out first turn.
Yeah, because that ability is unreal.
So I use the Shan Yu headbutt and the Aladdin sword strike, and I just wipe him out. Like, I don't even screw around with him. I'd rather deal with Big Bad Wolf than deal with him.
Wow, that's saying something.
Well, the big thing is Big Bad Wolf is slow, is extremely slow. That unless you've got a Shan Yu lead, you're probably going into almost your second turn by the time Big Bad Wolf goes.
That's
so
true.
While he does nasty damage, his speed is so low that it's almost like you're getting 2 turns to his 1.
Interesting. But I guess if you had to pick between, I mean, and this was my problem when I went into this store for these exclusive characters in the exchange. Man, there's several characters. Those first 4 exclusive, like, I'm drooling over, because Hades, fighting him, it's very clever. He's a damage dealer. It seems like he's very plug and play, meaning you could throw him in a team, any team, and he just makes that team better.
Exactly.
That said, I can't ignore the undeniable utility of Shan Yu, and that probably the top 50 teams or top 100 teams have all Shan Yu leads, and there's a reason for that.
No, the only teams in the top 50 that are not Shan Yu leads are the people who either were super lucky and defied the odds, or more than likely broke open their wallet and bought the entire Incredibles team.
Ah, right. Okay. I got you.
So unless you're willing to spend a couple $1,000s on a regular basis to have that elite team, Shan Yu leads are the free-to-play or the cheap-to-play way to be an elite.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because I love this Mordu guy, seeing his counters, and he's a tank.
Oh, yeah. He's the best tank.
A tank that deals damage is, what's cooler than that?
Exactly. So to that, what is he from? What is Mordu from?
I think you figured this out last time.
Really? Okay.
Brave. I think it's Brave.
That was it. Yeah, Brave. Yeah.
All right. I gotta put Brave on my watch list. I gotta find out. I gotta see Mordu on my TV. Now, Merlin, I don't see many people running, but as a theory crafter, I really love this character, and it's mainly for one reason. I think it's this use your head ability. And here's my one problem with the game, and please correct me if I'm wrong. No, that's not it. What's the? Yeah, no, this is it. Grant tactics to target teammate. There's nothing that I've seen in the game that defines what that does.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
From what I read on a forum, I think, tactics takes any percentage chance of something occurring on a character and makes it 100%.
That's a game changer on some of the more obscure utility stuff.
Right. So if that's correct, my mind starts going wild. Now, again, it's only for a turn, right? So, but okay, we were just talking about Aladdin, right? He has a percentage chance of healing himself when he gets hit. If this is correct of what the definition of tactics is, he'll heal himself every single time he gets hit.
Yep.
During that turn. I was actually thinking too, because technically it's a character once you play the spell. Think of Trigger's Tower, right? So if we go to Trigger's Tower and we have this upgraded ability that he gets, let's see here. Trigger's Tower does this continual damage thing, I think. There's only a percentage chance of it. Oh, come on up, damn it. Here we go. Yeah, so Trigger's Tower, right? Level 2, 25% chance for each attack to inflict continuous damage. So again, it's not a huge game changer because he's hitting the guy 3 times. So during a turn, you put tactics on Trigger's Tower. You're hitting the guy, and in each hit, you're guaranteed to add continuous damage. And then my mind going crazy from there. It's like, okay, now what if you get Madam Mim and you start spreading out some of these debuffs to adjacent opponents because I read there was something there. So, it makes, I don't know. I'm really curious with the ideas people have. I'm curious to get confirmation of what tactics is. But if it's correct, I'm really curious as to the ideas people come up with to use it. So, pretty interesting.
So in other words, this is going to be your droid team of the future.
Yes. You know what? I like gimmicky things. I like things that, you know what it is? It's a game within a game. Because this game is any game like this where you have different abilities and tactics and things. What's really going on? It's a puzzle.
So in other words, you want to introduce that magic card from Magic the Gathering where you had to play, like you stopped the game you were playing and it had you start a separate game altogether.
Oh, it was Planeswalker. It was an artifact Planeswalker that did that.
No, there was one even before that. Like I'm talking about, this was, it's been so long since I played. I'm forgetting the name of the card. Wasn't Mana Leak, but it was something like on the lines of that. And
okay.
it was like in Mirage.
Just going back. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
For
cool.
anyone who remembers Mirage, you're clearly as old as us, if not older.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think Mirage was like 7th grade, 6th grade.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, Mirage, Tempest. God.
Tempest was 7th grade. I remember Tempest clearly.
Yeah. That was, wow. That's a whole other thing right there.
Yes.
All right, so you're pushing hard for Aladdin. Let me ask you, because I have been using Jasmine. I have been trying to gear up, and I have her at 3 stars. I swear though, it's hard for me to really see the utility of Roger because his health is such garbage. Like, does that change?
So it does improve, but the biggest thing that Raja's there is to eat your opponent's 2 biggest early hits.
Because I swear, yeah, even if I even get a second hit on Raja, it's like a miracle.
So you do start getting second hits on Raja. And the other thing people don't realize is Jasmine has a large amount of damage she can take. So she's kind of like a mini utility tank.
Right.
While she doesn't have a taunt, people tend to attack her for no reason. I don't know why. Like, whenever I face teams, I always remove her last, but people seem to go after her, so it saves Aladdin, Big Bad Wolf, Shan Yu a few extra massive damage turns.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? I think if somebody looks at Jasmine, they know they can show in Raja. Sometimes they're like, no, I don't want to deal with a tank that taunts.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're only dealing with that maybe 1 turn. I mean, because Raja, what's nice about Raja is that as opposed to, say, Sully or some of the other ones, right away, he taunts for 2 turns. Theoretically, as long as he's alive.
If it was me, this is just my opinion, I think they should revert something on Raja. I think they should give Raja a massive amount of health, but only make Raja available for 2 turns. And after the second turn, he's gone. So he gains a lot more utility.
Right. Or give Raja more health and reduce health on Jasmine. Because
both are fine.
Right? Yeah.
But I think that if they really want to make Jasmine a difference maker, you have to increase Raja's health with a restriction or a caveat put on. You want to take health away from Jasmine? Cool. You want to make him a limited duration time? Great. That, I think, is smarter than kind of having him as a low health taunter that, like, is nice, but it's not a difference maker. And it's not like Aladdin's so broken that you can't afford to have a good complementary character. It's not like you're trying to find a complementary character to Shan Yu, where, like, you've already got a guy who does massive damage and has a great lead, and then you're going to add somebody who adds more utility, then, yeah, maybe not. But,
well, maybe that's it. It's that if you really make does Kingdom need to be better right now?
True. It's pretty clear that Kingdom is the dominant.
Do you need Kingdom to improve at all?
Now, my only problem, and this is maybe Disney and the game in general, Kingdom just seems like such a varied term. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, I understand if you put, let's call, traditional Disney together, like your Steamboat Mickeys, your Sorcerer Mickeys, your Big Bad Wolves of the world. But throwing that Kingdom tag into that overarching kind of banner.
Well, look. I mean, look at this as an example. Okay? Ariel is not in the Kingdom tag.
No.
So, I guess we're talking about, but I think, but, here we go. So, we have, this guy, I believe, is in the Kingdom tag. So, what is Kingdom?
That's what I was going to say. Like,
Shakespeare once asked, what is Kingdom?
Well, let's be honest. How in any world would Big Bad Wolf interact with Gaston?
Well, I don't think Big Bad Wolf, is he Kingdom? I don't think so. Is he?
I thought he was. Maybe I'm mixed up.
No, he's not.
He's not. Okay, then I take it back. But okay, fine. Let's look at this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got Mickey. Cool. I get classic. But Mickey has no correspondence to any of these characters in any way. And how is Kronk in the same kingdom as Shan Yu as the sheriff of Nottingham? Like, it just seems.
Well, I mean, are these people who live? Maybe are these people who have? No, it's, you know what I was about to say. Are these people who live in castles? But you got Genie.
Genie doesn't.
Robin lives in the woods. Actually, Robin could be considered homeless, couldn't he?
So he should get the hobo tag?
Well, yeah, and actually, that I believe that might bring us to our next segment, which we are very excited to bring everybody. Because you and I just found out about this recently.
It's a game changer.
It is certainly a game changer. What kind of, it is changing the nature of this game. So, to our fake news section of this channel and these videos, we are happy to see a new kind of character come in, right? And he's actually going to be similar to, let me find him in here. I don't have him unlocked. It's actually going to be a new version of this guy right here. So this is Jafar, and we are happy to introduce this new character called Hobo Jafar, which I am very excited to play, actually. I think
this is the character the game was missing.
I agree. PvP, the arena, everything's going to be shaken up because of this guy right here.
And the buffs he introduced are ones that just make the game that much more interesting.
Exactly. I mean, it's one thing. First of all, he's such an aesthetically pleasing character.
Exactly.
Just look at those twig legs, the gold teeth.
It's kind of like when you were playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, you wanted Luke.
Correct.
And such a character. When you start and you think the Disney world, you think creepy Hobo Jafar.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I thought of it, of like, why isn't he here yet?
I completely agree with you. In fact, when I installed this game, I was looking for a mini pixel of Hobo Jafar, but didn't see him. But I'm glad that we finally have him now. So we have different abilities. Mike, why don't you go over his basic that we have right here?
Okay, so starting off with aggressive panhandling. It's pretty straightforward in that it does basic damage, but it introduces a new buff called the Coin Charity buff. Now that's
Charity buff.
Yes.
Okay.
And then additionally, on top of that, if the target is of the ability is already stunned or asleep.
Oh wait. Are we sure that's part of that?
Oh no, sorry, I was reading it correctly. I apologize. I was bleeding into the next ability. Apology.
Oh no, actually, I believe this is part of it. So please continue. Oh no, wait. You're right. It is part of another ability. We got misinformation, folks. We apologize.
It's hard when you're breaking news and you're reading it off a cell phone. So let's be honest.
Correct.
So this Coin Charity buff leads into other things. Like, it doesn't really make a big difference by itself, but it's a difference maker as it go on. So Matt, why don't you take us on a little bit more of the specials and then interaction with that Coin Charity buff? Okay.
Well, first of all, we have this real nice ability here, Toothless Smile. And basically what he does is he calls all characters, all allies with the missing teeth tag to assist in a gang attack.
So Matt, just so I understand, this missing teeth, does that also include robots? Because technically they don't have teeth.
No, I believe you have to have teeth that are missing.
Okay.
Not that you never had teeth. So
if you never had teeth, you're excluded.
Correct. One must be first eligible for teeth to have them missing.
What if you have like a big tooth gap naturally, like a Michael Strahan tooth gap? Does that count?
I believe that might count. I would vote that does, because I believe if you could fit a tooth inside,
it counts.
Then that might qualify. So that's a nice special right there.
Yes.
But I mean, honestly, though, it pales in comparison to his second special, which is Indecent Proposal. Now, the way his ability reads is Hobo Jafar approaches the nearest male opponent not wearing a complete shirt and invites him to see his, quote, Cave of Wonders. So, Mike, let me ask you, clearly this ability was bent for Aladdin because he is not wearing a complete shirt, as we can see here. But speculate for me. Who else might this apply to?
Okay, so let's go down this list considerably. So obviously it's male characters, so we have to go into anybody from Monsters, Inc. Clearly not pro shirt.
That's a good point.
So Sully, not wearing shirt, not wearing pants.
Not wearing pants.
He's targeted by this doubly, I'm assuming.
I wonder if no shirt, no pants might become a new tag later on.
It's entirely possible.
Now, let's take a look at Big Bad Wolf.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even thought of him in this way, but he clearly is not pro shirt either.
He is not. Is that considered a full shirt if you're from certain regions of the country?
Well, here's the question. Does fur count as a shirt?
That's a good point. I'm
But
not clear on
to
that.
the point, really hairy guys are not allowed to go shirtless in like business functions. So does that kind of answer that question?
That's true. Yep. And actually, this really is an anti-Aladdin team because we have Genie, who also is male and does not have a shirt.
He's like pro, like cuffs, but not pro shirt.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's passing it off as a full costume, but we know what's really going on.
Exactly. So then we probably got to go down a little bit more till we get to Scar. Scar
Yeah.
and Simba, both not pro shirts.
Yeah, but it goes back to the fur debate, though.
Yes. So I think this is obviously something that's going to have to be clarified, whether fur counts as a shirt.
Yeah, I hope the devs clear this up through their Discord channel.
Yeah. We missed one that's up for debate. Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie?
He's clearly not wearing...
It's like a full body. It's a full body suit, really. Yeah, that's a full body suit, no?
It depends. Have we seen his innards?
We have, and they're not pretty.
And then the other one to point out, and is a big one, Steamboat Willie. No shirt.
Steamboat Mickey.
Steamboat Mickey, sorry.
We have confirmation that Steamboat Mickey has no shirt.
So there we go. That's a game changer for a character that a lot of people are looking for in the future.
Right, and look, we don't know. Zeus could be another one.
Zeus and Kronk both.
Yeah, I agree. The
togas are not full shirt.
Absolutely not. I completely agree. But, I mean, like I said, Indecent Proposal is good, but gets even better under certain conditions. Because, so, Indecent Proposal, just to recap, Hubble Jafar approaches the nearest male opponent not wearing a complete shirt and invites him to see his, quote, Cave of Wonders. Now, Mike, what does that mean? What is seeing his Cave of Wonders really talking about here?
I don't think Disney is ready to explore this yet. I'm assuming that it's going to take a character off of the battlefield for at least a little while and trap him in some magical cave. But
will that character ever be the same after having seen...
I'm assuming that character should be stunned for the rest of the game, if this is done right.
That makes sense. And speaking of stunning, the second part of Indecent Proposal is when Jafar's target from the Indecent Proposal becomes stunned, Hobo Jafar replaces aggressive panhandling, which is his basic, with aggressive manhandling. So tell me a little bit about this manhandling, if you could, Mike. Could you please explain it to me?
I'd love to, but I'm really not sure how quite to explain.
Maybe you can explain this to me off camera sometime. Once this quarantine is over.
I'm assuming there'll be increased damage associated with that move.
Oh, wow. So, Mike, if you could go into his passive ability, which circles back to the new buff coin charity.
Okay, so going back to that, Raving Lunatic leaves a lot to still be clarified by the devs, but the way it works is if the target opponent does not have coin charity buff, Hobo Jafar will bother them forever. So I think there's a lot of speculation to be done with this. I'm assuming that will like take away buffs from those characters that don't have coin charity every time they try to attack.
Oh, God.
I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this, Matt.
Well, Well, I mean, when I think of this, I think, well, you're walking down the street, and if you don't have that coin charity ready to go, this guy's just going to cross that street, come right over to you. You're always with a group of friends, maybe a new prospective girlfriend. You know, if prospective girlfriend is a tag or a buff you can put on somebody else, I think that goes right out the window when you have a raving lunatic right by your side.
So, in other words, we're just waiting for prospective girlfriend tag to be added to this game.
I would say so. And you know, you wonder, too, with a character like Madam Mim, who can spread debuffs around. I mean, is raving lunatic infectious? And what is the plural of lunatic? Lunati?
I think you would drop the C and just be lunati.
Lunati, yes, with a T-I-E. Wow. Well, look, I'm very excited about this new incoming character. It is a pleasure that we were the ones chosen to reveal this kit, and I think, like you said, this is a game changer, and this is going to be amazing.
I think everybody's going to enjoy the game that much more.
I think I don't know if the goal is to be bothered by Hobo Jafar, but I cannot wait to be bothered by Hobo Jafar.
It's things that dreams are made of.
Yes, and I for one will definitely be looking forward to seeing his Cave of Wonders. Should I be one of the lucky ones to become shirtless and then get this indecent proposal we've been discussing?
So, in other words, you're just going to go play this game with no shirt on randomly.
Well, I do. I have, once reading this kit, I have been more open to being propositioned than I was previously.
And here I thought you would donate more to charity just to avoid raving lunatic.
Yeah, you know what? And that it's a tough choice because you might like the Toothless Smile and the Gang of No Teeth. So, in which case, you know, you got a tough choice here. Some would say you win either way.
Let's put it this way. The biggest thing I think that Hobo Jafar will change the gaming done within Disney Sorcerer's arena is if you see a person randomly walking around the street with either a non-full, like maybe wearing a vest and nothing underneath, or just taking off their shirt randomly, we know what they're doing now.
Correct. Hashtag Hobo Jafar.
Exactly. I think that's something that we should support across the board, is start this being a real thing. Hashtag Hobo Jafar.
Yeah, I agree. Hashtag Hobo Jafar.
Hashtag shirtless, hashtag Hobo Jafar.
Yes, correct. All right, Mike. Next video, I think we'll get into a number of specs as far as who we think might be coming into the game. I am extra pumped for that now that we have such an amazing character announced that will be joining us shortly. So,
agreed completely.
All right, my friend. I will see you next time.
Have a good one.